What's up guys, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Today's video is pretty different because I have got a collection of 12 other YouTube channels joining me on this video, doing a big collaboration on our go-to backpacking shelter / sleeping systems. I thought it would be really cool for us to share all of the different things that we are using as our go-to shelter and sleeping systems. So like I said, I've got 12 other channels that have joined me on this collaboration. You're gonna want to check out all of their videos because the point of this and what I wanted to accomplish when I contacted all of these guys was to just see all of the variations of shelters and sleep systems that people are using out there. I expect a lot of hammock systems from this collaboration, but also several tents. Mine, you see, we've got a tent, standard traditional type setup, no hammock system. I've kind of gotten away from the hammock system and given up on that as a viable option for me in my backpacking system. So I'm sticking with a tent and looking for additional ways to save some weight, but we're gonna go over why I've chosen the things that I've chosen here that you see today. And what you're gonna wanna do is go check out all of the channels that are part of this. Check down in the description to see all of the other collaboration videos of the go-to backpacking shelter and sleeping system so that you can see the other options that are out there and hear why people are choosing to use what they have chosen for their sleep system. So I've got four items as part of my go-to backpacking shelter and sleep system. First thing that we'll talk about is the Sierra Designs Flashlight 1 tent. I absolutely love the versatility of this tent. It's a single person. You can get this in a two-person tent. It's fairly lightweight for what it is. There is a feather light option that they have, but if I don't take these two included poles with it and use trucking poles to set up, then the weight of this tent is about 2.5 pounds, 2 pounds 9 ounces to be exact. And I rarely carry a footprint with this because it does have about a 70D denier floor to it, which makes it really strong and not necessary for carrying a footprint. I love the gear closet that's on this, and I love just how simple it is. It's lightweight, and the awning system to it to be able to zip the door up, zip down the windows, and be able to look out and see what's happening outside of your tent, even in a rainstorm, is a really, really great feature that I absolutely love. So the second thing that I take with me virtually every time I go out now is my Montbell. This is the Ultralight Super Spiral Down Hugger. This is a 30-degree 800 fill down sleeping bag, super lightweight. This thing is under 2 pounds. One of my favorite sleeping bags I've ever had. I've had this for a long time, several years, and it's really warm, lightweight, compresses down really small, and that's one of the things that I just absolutely love about that sleeping bag. It couples really well with the third item, which is my Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite. This thing weighs 12 ounces. It's a fantastic sleeping pad that also has a really good R value of about 3.2. So for the weight and how comfortable the loft and everything that is on that pad, the X-Lite is one of my favorite pads I've ever owned. Recently, I got the Perea Outdoor Products Recharge, which is also a really nice pad that I'll be using as well. Not as much of a go-to piece of equipment for me because it is a little bit heavier than the X-Lite, but it's not as loud as the X-Lite, and it has a little bit more R value to it, and it's a really comfortable pad as well. But I love the Thermarest X-Lite. Last item is the Cocoon blow up backpacking pillow. super lightweight. I prefer to use a pillow instead of using like clothing or jackets and stuff like that to sleep on. I just like being a little bit more comfortable in the backcountry, and so having a pillow that is really lightweight makes it really nice to have and sleep a lot better because of carrying something like this. So I just want to explain that a big reason that I carry a tent instead of going with a hammock or something like that is because I live in a place where bugs can be a really big issue, especially mosquitoes. So a tarp is not always a great option unless you have a mesh tent to go with it. And then I'm also camping at times in places where I don't have any access to trees. So if I'm down in the desert in a canyon in Utah, then I don't have the option to use a hammock. So I have decided that I am a ground dweller. And being a ground dweller is what I prefer. It's comfortable for me. And I feel like at times that the amount of weight that a hammock system potentially saves you is kind of negligible, and I really just enjoy being a ground dweller and using a tent. So there you go, guys. This is my go-to backpacking shelter slash sleep system. Sierra Designs Flashlight 1 tent, the Montbell spiral down sleeping bag, the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite, and then a Cocoon blow up pillow. There is one thing that is probably going to change as my go-to that I'll take with me every time and not question it, is I am going to move to a quilt system and start using a quilt. And the quilt that I'm going to use is the Paria Outdoor Products Thermo Down 15-degree quilt. So I'm excited to use that. It's a little bit more weight than the Montbell, but it'll keep me a little bit warmer, and maybe I can carry less clothing and use a lower degree bag to keep me a little bit warmer at night. So there you go, guys. That's my go-to shelter slash sleep system. So really appreciate you watching. Please check out all of the channels down in the description that are part of this collaboration. Really, really cool channels, and I just watch all of them. Love their videos. Super cool guys. So go check them out, subscribe to them, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Hope you have an awesome day.